on, Bay YouTube? It is Charles, and today's going to be a little bit different video. It's not going to be a comic book review or an action figure review, but I want to talk about a trend I have seen on collector YouTube. That being primarily toy collectors and comic book collectors. And there seems to be a certain frustration going on in the community. A lot of people are getting burnt out on the hobby. And I can understand that to an extent. But to give my 2 cents on it, it's all about your motivation for collecting. To give you a little quick background on me and this channel, the reason I started it was because about 2009 I had a work accident that left me permanently disabled. And it took years of therapy, relearning, reevaluating what my life was going to be to find peace of mind. And part of that new life became collecting. I've been a collector for about probably 7 or 8 years now. Started off with action figures and moved to comic books around 2018, 2019. I started collecting comic books. And I have been a dedicated collector ever since. And I want to share that same peace of mind that got me through my depression from being disabled with others. And the joy of collecting. And that word joy, I think, is the missing key to a lot of these frustrated YouTube creators. Now, to start off with, this is not putting anybody down. And I am not some big name that has all the answers. But from my experience, I think that people take the joy and the fun out of collecting. And it's something I fell into when I first started. Because I felt like I had to look at collecting as an investment in order to justify it. And so I always had to get the new thing, the next thing, that thing that was going to be rare and that was going to appreciate. But I found out very quickly that action figures don't appreciate and value quickly. And a lot of them never do. That's why you can go to Walmart in the clearance aisle and see action figures that were $25, $30 marked for $5. And so I got out of collecting to resell. And with comic books, it can even be more of a pricier game because you have not only your comic book itself, but you have the reprints, the special editions, all kinds of other editions that you can get the same book. Dynamite Comics, it seems like they put out 10 covers for every issue. And, you get into this trap of the completionist. And I think what happens is a lot of people, they spend a lot of money on things they necessarily don't want. But because they want to get that value or they want to complete the series or the set, they end up buying all this stuff and they have boxes and rooms full of stuff they don't like. And as soon as I realized about toys that they don't appreciate quickly or rarely ever. I mean, I have a couple of ones that are very expensive now, and those are the ones that I bought for me that I'm not going to resell. It's just a little anecdote there. But a couple years in, I shifted my mindset from, okay, what's going to gain value, what is valuable, to what do I enjoy. You will see a trend on this channel of everything that I review, I enjoy. And that's not an accident. Now, that's not me saying that I enjoy everything, because there have been 1 or 2 action figures that I've bought in my collecting that I most definitely did not enjoy. There have been a few comic books that I've read that I really did not enjoy, and there are authors whose writing I just do not like. But I don't talk about them because that's not sharing the joy and the happiness and the fun of collecting. And even when I do bring up something, like in a video last week, I mentioned Christopher Priest and how I personally do not like his writing. And it was in another video comparing writers, but I made it clear, and I make it clear in this video, that does not mean Christopher Priest is a bad author. He works with every company he's been in the game for decades and on top of the game. It's just there's certain things about his style that do not click with me. And so when I see that he's coming out with this new run of Red Sonja, even though I'm a big Red Sonja fan, I'll buy the #1 because I want to see what direction it's going to go in, but I'm not going to subscribe to it. And I'm probably not going to buy further issues, just like I did with Vampirella. And that's not a bad thing. You can miss stuff. This very channel started with an action figure review of the G.I. Joe Classified Spirit Iron Knife. And the last action figure I bought and reviewed was this guy. Call of Duty Ghost action figure I got 4 months ago. Saw it on Amazon, really liked the look of it, had to have it in my collection. And there have been tons of action figures I would usually run out and buy, but nothing that spoke to me that would take up space in my collection that is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So I haven't bought. The last I bought one, and I'm going to be doing a review very soon of this guy. But it's been 4 months between the Call of Duty action figure and this Robin. Stay tuned for this. This is a very fun series I'll get into a little bit later. And when I bought this, it wasn't because it's brand new. It's actually years old. It's something I've been wanting to get because I have the Batman and the Batgirl. And this is going to complete this collection for me. But then again, it's like when I first started collecting this series, this Page Punchers Fight in the Frozen series, I came across the Batgirl because I'm a huge fan of Batgirl. Huge fan. And then I saw the Batman at a good price in Walmart. And I kind of wrote this one off as never going to get it because the price point was higher than what I felt comfortable with. And if I saw it at a good price down the road, I'd get it. And that's exactly what happened. But all this to say, I justify what I buy. Is it going to be something fun? Is it going to be something I enjoy reading? If I read an issue number 1 of something, I don't like it, I'm not going to buy number 2. If a new toy comes out and I don't want it in my collection taking up valuable shelf space, I'm not going to buy it. Life is too short to just waste it on things that you kind of like. Buy what you love, what you're going to want on display as far as your action figures. And as far as comic books, buy what you're going to read. In my case, if it's going to be something I want to read multiple times. Because comic books are getting more and more expensive. You know, the standard price when I started collecting was $3.99. Right now, the standard price is going up to $4.99. And so that's a lot of money when you're buying multiple books a week. And so don't be a completionist. Don't feel like you have to have the best and the fanciest or the crazy cover that comes out that's going to be $100-something bucks. Buy what you're going to enjoy that's going to add joy to your life. Or else you're going to be like a lot of these disgruntled creators, upset about their collections because they're collecting for the clout and for the money, which are not there. This is nerd stuff. A lot of these guys are younger than me, and I think they have yet to find out that clout and status is meaningless. And you're not going to get it from nerd stuff. Hate to break it to you. And as far as investments, like I said, it's hard to tell what's going to appreciate. But, the same thing with my action figure. The one that is, went up dramatically in price. I bought it not because it seemed rare or valuable, but because I wanted it. It was a wrestler that I was a big fan of who wasn't really that big at the time. And that ended up being my most valuable purchase. And it was fairly cheap. So that's it. You guys have a good one. Stay tuned to this channel. There's some fun stuff coming up. We're going to be doing an unboxing and review of this Page Punchers Robin Fight in the Frozen, part of the McFarlane Page Punchers series, where you get a comic book and an action figure. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have a lot more comic book content coming up and a new unboxing from Spellbound Apothecary and Entertainment on Wednesday. So I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep buying them action figures and reading them books. I'm out.